All right, good morning, y'all.
This.
Let me do this real quick. All right, I just want to drop in this live real quick, and y'all know me. Um, First of all, I'm Jesse V. Just trying to come in here and share a little bit of something. You guys know I'm always multitasking. I got the kids in the background, all that good stuff. I want to make sure my sound and stuff is good, and y'all know me. I'm always racing. It's one thing if I got my son in the background, he kind of bang things around, he runs around a little bit. But my daughter, whew, that's a different story. She be doing her thing. So let me make sure my sound and stuff is
That's a
good.
different story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Looks like my sound is good. So real quick about, the title. I just had to come on here, man. Okay, I watch a lot of YouTube. I just thought of it. I watch a lot of YouTube. And one of my favorite shows on YouTube is the Kendra G dating app. Right, her live show where she go interview singles. She does kind of like a matchmaking type deal. And I kind of debated on whether or not I wanted to do this live, and especially because I respect other content creators, and I try not to I try not to put their stuff up so much. But I just felt like this was so necessary for me to kind of do an exhaustive on one of the callers because I am from Charlotte, North Carolina. And it just so happened that one of the callers was somebody from Charlotte, North Carolina. Not only was this guy from Charlotte, North Carolina, but he and we went to school together. So, you know, uh, I just got to say this, like the skinny of it, the short of it is this guy has a bunch of different baby mamas and he got a bunch of kids, right? And it's easy to judge somebody when you don't know them and you hear about their situation. Like, what is he doing with all these kids? Why is he always with these women? Like, how are all these women always the problem? And I just felt the need to come on here and just say, I think this guy is innocent. Now, a lot of people they like a dude who got a bunch of different baby mamas, he's a deadbeat, he's a player, or he's a bad guy in some kind of capacity. And I understand where people are coming from with that. I truly do understand. But I know this guy personally, right? I knew this guy when he was hitting puberty. Oh, that sounds weird when I say it like that, but this is what I mean. I think we went to the same middle school, right? Now, I went to one of them high schools, shout out Northwest School of the Arts in Charlotte, where they do 6th to 12th grade, right? So you could go to that school from 6th grade all the way to graduation. So hopefully I don't do any injustice by not quite remembering what year he and I crossed paths. But anyway, um, I got to see this guy from the time we was younger. And Kendra G really jumped down this dude's throat about having all these kids and all these baby mamas, right? Um, but when I was listening to the guy, I was like, I know him. He's telling the truth. Like what he's saying might sound like a bunch of baloney, but it's really not. It is not a bunch of baloney. This man is telling the truth, right? So without further ado, I want to just go ahead and pull this up. And this video is going to be something that's a little different. Um, it's going to be a little different because I did want to kind of talk about this. Let's see. I don't think I clicked this right. Let me see. And I'm still learning how to do this. Give me a second, guys. Uh, but anyhow, so and okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and start this one because I'm still getting the hang of this live, you guys, and I'm getting the hang of these screens and everything. Um, and let me just go ahead and start this on here.
Wait.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, why are they telling me to add you, honey?
Shador was just on there slandering my name, swearing I'm this and that. Her life in turmoil causing me and everything about this little girl.
Wait,
Why you in it? Why I gotta be in it? Cause your mama put us in it. Oh my God, bro! Why I gotta be in it? Why you can't be in it? Why the boys can't be in it? Hey, I don't wanna be in it. Like I said, that's my baby. She always gonna be with me. Her mama just, I don't know what's up with her.
you said you have a kid.
So let me just start out right here. As soon as his face popped up, I was like, yo. Immediately, I was like, yo, like, how is he doing? You know, and first of all, I don't mean to be weird. You know, I'm married. I'm happily married. I got 2 kids. But I was like, how is this dude on the singles app? Because when we went to school, I'm not saying that he was like the man or anything. Shout out to Lead Quarter Trucker. Um, I'm not saying that he was like a lover's boy or anything, but I was so shocked to see him on there. You're right, because he was such a cool guy. He was such a good kid. So let me just go ahead and press play on this.
Kid is 6 years old, right?
Yeah, she's 6 years old. Her dad is actually watching your live. That's crazy. But go ahead, Kendra.
Do y'all co-parent well?
I'm the mama and the daddy, so he only get her like when he feel like it, basically. Yeah. Clock that. But go ahead.
He's watching right now.
Hi. He's watching right now. Tell him hey.
Hi, Mr. Hi, Mr. Every now and then, Dad.
Right, exactly. Tell you something. With my baby daddy, I had his motherfucking back. Do you understand? There for him.
By the way, sorry for the profanity. It's getting real ghetto real fast on a Friday morning. But this is all necessary. You know what? While I stopped it right here, I have to say this. I'm not shocked that he ended up with this kind of woman. Because he was so mellow when we were kids. And the thing about it is he had a real soft spot for women. And he kind of had like this kind of like savior complex, right? Um, and it's so crazy just to know the background of this guy. It's so crazy to know the background of this guy because he is not a bad dude, right? And it just blew my mind because I was just sitting here like, I cannot believe that. First of all, as cool and mellow as this guy was, I couldn't believe that he was single because you would think that the humble, nice guy that doesn't get into any trouble or anything, you would think that guy would have a girl by now, have a career, have all these things going for him because he has so much potential. But yeah, I was so shocked that this is who he ended up with. But then again, I'm gonna contradict myself and say, no, I wasn't because with him being such a nice guy and attracting these kind of women, he was always the type of kid that would look out for everybody, but he especially looked out for girls. He was a very nice guy. I can't say this enough. Like he was the type of kid in school. If if he had some lunch money and a little bit like just enough to do for himself, and he saw, and it was always a girl, and he saw a girl that just wanted like an extra cake or wanted like fries or something, he would just buy that for her and skip out on his sides. She would have the entree, the sides, and he'll pay for her dessert and make his meal smaller. So on one end, I was thinking to myself, yo, Will, what are you doing? Like, how you ended up with crazy chicks like this, right? But then at the other side, this whole simping culture, this whole having to step up for a chick, even if she's not nice or if she's not a good person, I can kind of see how he ended up here. But excuse the potty mouth, please, y'all.
I knew that I chose the wrong nigga because this man had 5 kids, Kendra, and I had 0. As a matter of fact, I was in a good ass relationship when I met my baby daddy. I fucked up the relationship I was in with my boyfriend. I did. And I think that's why I'm in this bed that I'm in now, because I fucked up a good ass motherfucker relationship.
Okay,
Yeah.
By the way, I just really hate the fact that in this day and age, it's like socially appropriate for women to just have a nasty, nasty, nasty potty mouth. Like it's so unsavory. Like, and I just have to give this tip as a wife and as a stay-at-home mom, right? The reason why it's so important to have a woman that doesn't have a nasty mouth is because your children are going to be at home with this woman. Most likely, your children are going to be taught how to talk by this woman. And men, y'all got to be selective, especially if, men are always claiming they want a submissive woman. They want a woman that's, going to take care of the house and things like that. You do not want your child at home with a woman who's beating them and cussing them out all day. Like, that's what this looks like. I don't know how it became a thing that women can just come out here and just MF that and N-word this and all that. Like, I honestly don't understand how men can desire women like this. I really don't understand it. Like, I don't understand the attraction at all. But again, this guy from middle school on up, I guess the attraction to her was, she did say that she was in a relationship, right? She ruined her own relationship to be with this guy or whatever. Okay. But here's the thing. Maybe Will took this as, oh, maybe I'm more desirable, or maybe, I'm attractive. I don't know what it is, but I really feel sorry for my old classmate. Here you go. First play on that.
I feel like, was he trolling me and is this a setup?
Nah, this ain't no setup.
She said that you barely have the baby.
Yeah, I know. That was a lie. Matter of fact, my baby's 6 years old. She can talk for herself. Come here. Quit acting like that. Come here. Come here. She talking about, oh my God.
Where are you now?
Ask her the question.
Are you with your daddy all the time?
No, not all the time. Sometimes.
How often do you see your daddy?
Huh?
How many times do you see your daddy in a month?
A month is 31 days. How many days out of 31 do you see me? If not all of them. You see your daddy
every week?
No. Like this for like not like sometimes, but not a lot.
Okay, so then her mother wasn't lying because she said you were sometime daddy.
Nah, I'm definitely not a sometime daddy.
Your daughter just said.
Now, let's just be real. Okay. And I just felt the need to bring this up because I know this guy personally, right? This dude got 5 baby mamas and he got 6 kids. This is baby number 6, right? This child doesn't understand that when a man is dealing with 5 different women and one of them got 2 kids, the rest of them got 1 child apiece. 1 child over here, 2 children over there, 1 child over here, 1 child over here, 1 child over here. And I'm saying from experience, dealing with 2 children of my own in my marriage with my husband, who's also having a hand in raising them and things like that. We're together, we're in the same household. That is a challenge, right? The idea of having children and not being married to me is like scary. But at the same time, thinking about this man's situation and seeing how his children are reacting to it, it's very traumatic to them. Needless to say, it's a very traumatic experience for them. And this baby number 6, she has no idea. Listen, dad is taking care of brother over here, sister over there, brother over here, sister over here. So, even when you listen to this man and she's like, how many days out of the month do you get to see him? And then he says 31 days. Now, a lot of people when they hear 1 month, most times your mind go to 30 days. That, I know but see, I understand this guy, right? He said 31. Why did he say 31? Because some months are 31 days. So even the way he's talking, right? He's like maximizing the time that he's been around his daughter, like psychologically. So like, but to the average person, when they hear him say, oh, it's 31 days in a month, immediately my mind went, what about February? Right? Like, we naturally have the desire to be contrarian to people like him. We naturally have the desire to demonize, the baby daddy, you know what I mean? The YN or whatever. And so I'm just saying, I don't think he realizes that people are going, most people think of a month as 30 days. They don't think of it as 31 days. But if you think about it from his perspective, he's saying 31 because 31 is greater than 30. And he's trying to emphasize that sometimes I have my daughter for the entire month. And sometimes the entire month is, we ain't talking leap years. We ain't talking 30-day months. We talking, I have her for the full 31 days, right?
She don't see you all the time. You told me to ask
My
that question.
daughter said, Kalia, how much do you see me?
I see him a little bit, but I think I see him like my mom says when
not what your mama say. Don't say what your mama say. You tell the truth. How much do you see me? How much do I come and get you?
I just wanted to say this too. Notice this goes back to my point of being mindful of how women talk. When men choose their women, y'all should be very selective. Notice she said, "Oh, my mama say." In the beginning of this video, I played a clip of this woman talking, and she hollering and cussing, and that's my mother effing fault, and all this. This little girl is growing up with that. There ain't no telling what all she's heard this woman say. you know and this girl is absorbing this stuff. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I am biased. When it comes to Will, I am biased because I remember him as Will. Now he go by Willie now, he gonna say that in the video, but I remember when he was just a regular kid. He wasn't like popular or anything, he was just a regular guy. He wasn't trying to be no thug or nothing. But then there was this man, there's this, I want to call this guy Kasim. I can't remember the name of the guy. He had a really ghetto, clunky name too. But I call him Kasim because it's easier to remember. Anyway, I remember hanging out with Will when we were kids. And I wasn't really hanging out with him, but I would see other kids and I would kind of interact with them a little bit. And I remember he was hanging out with this one really wretched guy. And I'm gonna call him Kasim because it's hard, Kareem or something like that. But I'm gonna just call him Kasim because it's easier to remember. So, and just to give you an idea of Kasim was so ghetto and so wretched and so destructive and so YN with hard R activity out the wazoo that I just knew anybody who was around this dude was going to automatically get in trouble. If you're going to be around this dude, you're going to catch some kind of charge just by being around him. Like, he was trouble. Now, Will, on the other hand, he was just a cool guy, just a regular guy, right? But hanging around this one dude, and I'm going to call him Kasim, hanging around this one, and he got a ghetto name. I cannot believe I forgot this dude's name. I just knew Will was gonna get caught up in some ghetto stuff. Some people just got a spirit on them. Like, some people just got like an energy to where if you ever deal with them, you might wake up, bless you, boo boo, and find yourself in a situation to be like, how did I get here? I'm not blaming where Will is on Kasim. What I am saying is, I remember telling Will, like, yeah, you're a cool guy, you're a good kid. But if you keep hanging out with this dude, something might happen. I don't know what but I know something might happen. This is not the guy you want to hang around. I remember telling him that when I was younger. And it's so crazy because I could never see with Kasim, you could see him getting a gun charge, you could see him getting a domestic violence charge. You could just look at him. He was just a billboard for prison. Like you just knew that dude was going down the wrong road. Like you stayed away from him. It was always something with this dude. So when Will started kicking it with this guy, I was like, yo, if you're not careful, you're gonna end up in some hood stuff. Now, in my mind, I was like, Will, he's a cool dude, so I cannot imagine him getting a gun charge. I can't imagine him being in a gang. I can't even picture him being in prison. So I'm like, what kind of hood ghetto, hood rat sin Will can get into? And then when I saw this video, this is what I see. Like, baby mama, number 5. Of course. I'm like, if it's something hood that this dude can get caught into, it's this right here on your screen. That right there. This right here is the closest thing to a ratchet that I could think of. Now, this might seem like I'm like pandering or whatever, or I'm like siding with, Will automatically, or I'm being biased. And I concede to that. To an extent, I am being biased. But it's so easy to demonize Will. It's so easy to talk about how bad of a person he is. And hey, shout out to Will too. Like if I'm calling you Will and I'm messing up your street cred, I'm so sorry, bro. Willie. I'm just calling you Willie because that's what you go by. But he was such a cool guy. So like later on, you're gonna see kind of Kendra ripping into him. And I'm gonna be like, yo, you talking to Willie, yo, like Willie good people. Even though he got this situation, he's still good people.
You got to coach her, bro. You ain't got to coach.
Wait, okay, so Willie, back to you. Let me talk to you. Yeah. So you're referring to Shadora?
Yeah, that's my baby mom.
So you have 6 kids.
I got 6 kids, one with her. I had 5 before her.
Right, you had 5 before her. And I want to make sure y'all not setting me up because this is kind of crazy that you're calling me and she particularly told me not to talk to you.
Exactly. You know why she don't want you to talk to me? She don't want you to know the truth about her. She want fame like everybody's saying on her. She just wanted that part. She needed that. Like I told her, like, you don't have to use me every time you get close to fame. Like, I don't try to help you with that and all of that. So you don't have to use me for that. Like, just let me be who I am. I'm me. You feel me? I don't want no fame. I don't need the extra media or none of that. So every time you get on somewhere with over 1,000 views, you bring me up. Why? Like, you telling people that I'm not this and that. My daughter with me, right?
Look, this is something that I got to say this about Willie. The reason why your baby mama bring you up is because it's people like me who surprised at how you ended up, bro. We surprised. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed because, I'm not gonna lie, when I was in school with him or whatever, middle and high school, I just, I wasn't the type that was dating. One thing that kills me about kids in school, K through 12, is that they get really, really serious about being in a relationship and all that. I was not one of them kids. I'm so grateful to y'all that I had a very good stepfather. And the reason why I had a stepfather was because my biological father was deceased. Even though my biological father was deceased, my grandfather was in my life. My uncle, he popped in every now and then. I had a lot of a very good network of particularly strong Black men in my life, to where, I had support. I didn't just have male support, but I had support from men from my community who lifted me up, who protected me, who loved on me. And so I never really felt the need to look for attention from guys growing up because I always had that nurturing when, I was going to school and everything. I always had like, strong men to always look out for me. That being said, I would have to admit this. If I didn't have that strong male figure, particularly strong Black man figure in my life, I could see myself gravitating to a guy like Willie here. I think I needed to do this justice. Hopefully I don't get a strike for it. I'm still getting new at this, But I still feel the need, even if I do get into some kind of trouble with YouTube doing this, when Willie say he a good guy, he is a good guy. I feel the need to say this, you know what I mean? Like, you know, shout out to Charlotte, man. Like, I know Charlotte. I grew up in Charlotte. You know, right now in Charlotte, the issue is good people like me don't want to end up like good people like him. Like, I don't know what the deal is in Charlotte, but it just seems like if you're trying to be the best person you can be, you know, Charlotte has a way of it's just so much bad energy there. On the flip side, if you're trying to be the biggest dirtbag in the world, Charlotte is the place for you. And if you're a good person hanging out with dirtbags, you know, eventually you're gonna get dirty, right? Inevitably. And that's how I feel about Will. So the answer to his question on you know, why is it that his baby mama always got to throw his name up for clout? Because Will, you could have been that guy. And I'm saying this as somebody that saw you growing up. You could have been that guy. You could have been, there's so many great things you could have been. If you didn't have these women hold, now I sound like the baby that's Brian, how these women hold me back, but this is true. This is one of those situations where I have to say this is true. If he didn't have these kind of women in his life dogging him out, you would get to meet him for who he truly is. You would get to know him for who he truly is. Because when I was in school with him, like I said, if it wasn't for, and I'm gonna call this dude Kasim, I know he had a much more ghetto name than that, but I would correct it. You ever meet somebody and they just so out of place, you got to rename them to tolerate them? That's how bad this one dude was. You know, um, if Will just could have stayed out of trouble, stayed out of the wrong crowds, things like that, I think he could have been all right, you know. Um, but that's one of those things. Like, here's another thing I have to say too about people. We all know right from wrong. We all know, like, for example, here's something easy. You know, you shouldn't be having sex before marriage, period. That's the rule. If you don't have sex before marriage, there's no possibility of children out of wedlock. It always starts with that small little crack. It always starts with that small little thing where people, they wiggle a little bit, and then before they know it, they got a big problem, and now they being called a deadbeat dad on the neighborhood. You know, on the neighborhood. I mean, on the internet. The internet is like a neighborhood. But anyway, number one, no sex before marriage. Number two, you know, people always push safe sex or whatever. People always push contraceptives. And you see how it becomes like a slippery slope. We go from keeping your hand to yourself to, you know, make sure you cover up, make sure, you know, avoid STDs and stuff. Now we're talking about diseases, and it gets progressively worse, right? If you do have kids, some people, they feel like, you know, let me hurry up and get married for this baby's born because I don't want to have no child out of wedlock. You get all these issues just from skipping a step, right? And I feel so bad for Willie because I'm like, dang, man, I can't believe you did this 5 times. So when he say, you know, hey, you know, his baby mama be trying to get clout, so on and so forth, I'm here to answer him right now. The reason why she's trying to get clout is because you were a good guy. Outside of, if you didn't have all these kids, all these baby mamas, nobody would be able to truly criticize you, man. And I'm just speaking to him directly because when I tell you this guy was so cool and he looked out for everybody and he was a very respectful kid. Always been respectful. Even me, like, you know, there was a time when I never really got bullied, but I used to get picked on quite a lot. Like, even like a lot of the stuff that my trolls say when they get on here and they mess with me when I'm on live, you know, I've heard a lot of that growing up with him. You know, people picking on me, how deep my voice is, the fact that I have low hair, how dark my skin is, all this other stuff. You know, I've heard it all. When I used to get picked on in school, he didn't stand up for me, but he would be like, hey, man, you good people. He would take time out to be like, hey, man, you good people. Don't let other people make you feel bad about yourself, man. Now, I would say this. I've always had a confidence thing. I've always, hey, I love me. I don't care what nobody got to say. I got to go to sleep with me every night. I got to wake up with me every morning. I love me some me. Self love has never been a struggle for me. Okay. But I did appreciate the fact that somebody was willing to walk up to me and be like, hey, I see you, you know, and it makes me wonder sometimes, what if he felt like nobody has ever seen him? Because like right now, he's being defined all over the internet as the baby daddy, right? And I know him for more than that. And this might come off like I'm like caping or whatever, but I'm starting to see like the the good guy painted bad. I'm starting to see the other side of that because I don't remember Will as like how this lady called him an N word and almost called him an MFer and she talking bad about him. He was never that. And in my opinion, I don't think he is that. Like even when he's got all these kids, all these baby mamas and stuff, you'd be surprised how much men care about their kids. I know society likes to paint it as only women love their kids, only women take care of the kids, but men, I feel as though men oftentimes think that women care about the children as much as they do. This is what I mean by that. A woman will have a child knowing good and well she's having a kid for welfare benefits. A man will have a child knowing he can't afford to have one, but the fact that that's his child, that's enough for him to say, that's my child. I love my child. Regardless of who her mama is or who his mama is, that's still my child. Women, we ain't got that. I've yet to meet a woman who got that kind of bone in their body that's like, oh, I love my child regardless. Like, and there's a lot of women that'd be like, I love my child, I love my child. Let me tell you, the main ones that need a billboard and a neon sign talking about what they do for their kids and how much they love their kids and how they'll do anything for their kids, them be the most toxic mothers. They be the most emotionally, spiritually, and abusive mothers there are. The ones that gotta announce it. I'm here taking care of my kids. I've never felt comfortable being like, yeah, I change their diapers. Yeah, I potty train them. Yeah, I cook for them. Who here with them? Okay, while my husband out on the road, I ain't never felt that. And there has to be some kind of mental illness that comes with that because in my opinion, that is just crazy. But like I said, I just wanted to address what Willie said when he was like, yeah, man, I don't know why. Because outside of these baby mamas, man, you could have been. Shout out to Drewski. You could have been, bro.
Right now, always with me. Like she gonna say that. I don't know what she talking about.
Well, your daughter just said she's not always with you. She said
she always with me. Damn near always with me.
So okay.
Just like
you
all
guys obviously
my other kids.
So you guys obviously aren't together, you and Shadora.
Nah, we ain't together.
Okay. Well, she did say that you had 5 kids before y'all had a child together, and I did say that if you weren't in those baby mama's lives, then I guess she shouldn't be surprised about the lack of participation you are in the child.
But that's
you have
crazy though. If you get with a guy, he got 5 other kids. You gonna lay down and have a baby with him if he ain't doing that for the other 5?
This goes back to what I was saying before. He said, if you get with a guy, he got 5 other kids, you gonna lay down and have a baby, even though he ain't doing nothing for the other 5. Absolutely. Yeah, women do stuff like that. Yeah, women are selfish like that. Women, they be like, oh yeah, I mean, there was this one chick that was like, oh, I wanna have a baby with this dude because he tall. I want my baby to be tall. I've heard, man, I've gone to school with chicks. This in middle and high school. I want to have a baby with him because I like his eyes. I want my baby to have them pretty eyes. Yeah, that's how much women, in general, that's how much thought a lot of them put into having kids. Like even if you wasn't doing nothing for your other 5, the fact that she like you, she willing to have a baby because she like you. You already dark skinned. You already handsome. and you nice. I know you, like, from when we were in school personally, you're a nice guy. A lot of these women are broken. A lot of these women, I hear a lot of people complain and they say, how come, like, this whole red pill, how come, these women, 80% of women want men, 20% of men, but then they'll have babies with Pookie and Ray Ray, right? Having babies and raising a family to a lot of women are two completely different things. This is what I mean. A lot of women, the guy that they willing to marry is not the guy that they willing to have sex with. A lot of times, the guy who got his stuff together, he's not as attractive as like a Willie, a Ray Ray, or a Pookie. And this is the thing that a lot of successful guys miss: the ability to be social, the ability to have a certain level of confidence or a certain level of self-worth. Women are attracted to confidence and competence. Now, many will argue somebody like Willie talking about, you with me for 31 days. You can tell he not the most educated guy. You can tell he ain't got his stuff together, right? And you would say, hey, Jesse V, how is he competent? He can't even put a condom on. This is what I mean when I say competence. For a woman, being able to be socially connected to a man, being able to understand him having the ability to communicate effectively and in a way that's desirable to us, that's attractive to us. You can be a straight up bum. If you know how to talk to a woman, she don't care about how many kids you got. She don't care about how many baby dads you got. Especially when you're dealing with these young, impressionable women that will just allow a man to just run roughshod all over the place with her, doing and saying whatever he wants. She'll move him in. And I have to say this too. There are a lot of women out there who never had a father, a devoted father, a loving and caring father. There are a lot of women out there that never had a biological male, like not even an uncle, not a granddaddy. So when they get that male attention, it's like a sensory overload. Men who are successful, who had to grow up without a father, it might be more difficult for them to understand how women feel. First of all, women are different than men in general. But then on top of that, this deprivation of masculine energy as a girl is developing into a woman is very significant. This is what I mean. If a girl is not used to a man saying, hey, you're pretty, or you're smart, or I'm going to be there for you no matter what, or if she said, oh, I'm hungry, and a guy bring her something to eat, you just blew that girl's mind. It's a lot of women on the internet that sit here and talk about how a man needs to make this amount of money, he needs to drive this kind of car, all this kind of stuff. And then you wonder why they got a baby daddy in jail. How come you want this kind of guy now, but that kind of guy over there, he ain't never did nothing for you, right? A lot of people ask that question. Well, that guy who in jail knew how to talk to her. By the way, I gotta go get my baby real quick. Be right back. Bookie, come with me. Go get mama. Be right back. Be right back. Good morning. Good morning, mama. I'm gonna make you a fruit salad. Good morning. Turn the ceiling fan on, get some air up in here. Good morning, mamas. Good morning. Good morning, my princess. Big girl. Oh, she's so big. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. I had to go get my baby. Anyway, why she's so big now? But anyhow, let me go back. So I think I was talking about, why do chicks end up with the Pookie and the Ray Rays, and they don't want the guy that's successful, that's working hard, that's going to school. A lot of times these guys who have all these skills and these resources, they ain't got no social skills, or they just missing a mark with women. Like, they're so busy trying to be the nice guy, and oh, I don't want to hurt her feelings, and it's like that. Dealing with a guy that's not authentically himself, even if it's negative or even if we don't like it, is so annoying. Like, the bad guy, he gonna be who he is regardless. He gonna make whatever decision he's gonna make regardless. I guess what it is women are attracted to autonomy. And a lot of times nice guys are like, whatever you want, whatever you need, I'll do whatever you say. And it's like no woman wants to be with a guy that's like, oh, whatever you say. Like, that's so feminine. Boo boo, don't mess with that. That's so feminine. Come over here, boo boo. So yeah, it's a turn off. Um, so yeah, I just had to pause and say that on there.
Women are doing that, and I recommend against it, though.
I mean, good dick is one thing. Oh, excuse me. I sit back to that. That's one.
Sorry again for the language. And then I feel so bad for this dude. Like, I feel, man, when I tell y'all this dude, I just truly feel like the women he's been dealing with have rubbed off on him so bad. I don't even remember him talking like this. Like, this is just such a tragedy for me.
One thing. You gonna fuck with the dude. You gonna have sex with him. Let me say that, and all that. But abortion, you could have had abortion or anything. If you felt like I was a bad father, why would you have a baby with me?
Well, Willie, the conversation you having right in front of the kids right now don't make you the best dad in the world.
Man, I ain't never said I was the best daddy. I'm gonna do it for my six the way I got to do it, and I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna say this: two wrongs don't make a right. Here's the deal. This is what I will say, and I said this to her. You are correct. And why have a baby with a man who has 5 kids and he's not doing for them? But just like she got to take responsibility for her action, you got to take responsibility for your action as a man. And what I am tired of is all this blame always goes on the women. Why she had sex with me? Well, no, as a man, it's time for y'all to men up. It's time for y'all to become men and do what you need to do, right by your children, and stop trying to find a way to blame it on the woman's fault. Just like she got some responsibility, I gave it to her, but you got responsibility too as a man. And you probably should change the way you're speaking in front of these kids and making this a normal conversation, because I don't know if you want to talk normally with abortion and.
I mean, I don't think I said nothing bad that these kids don't see on YouTube when they pick up my phone and look at.
Well, that's bad parenting. Well, that's bad parenting, because you should be a better enough parent to keep your six.
Let me just say this too. Like, as y'all can see, like, Kendra's cooking him. Like, she is really jumping down this man's throat. And I have to say, again, I'm biased. Knowing this man personally, it's so easy to be like, oh, you got 5 kids, you got 6 baby mamas, and you need to take some accountability and all this other stuff. Yes, this is true. But this is something that I struggle with too, in the Black community in particular. It's so easy to sit there and talk to people about what they did wrong and how they did it wrong, and they better do this and they need to do that. Throughout this exchange with these two, all I've been hearing is that, first of all, I feel like when a man just keep having kids, it's almost, I wouldn't say like a cry for help, but it's like, to be important to somebody, to feel relevant to somebody, to be wanted, to be needed, to be cared for, to be remembered. No better way to be remembered than to be a parent. Like, even if your children don't know you, let's say they're children that are like adopted or in foster care, things like that, they still know, hey, I got a mother, I got a father out there. So I feel like there's a greater conversation to be had, rather than, and I don't think this was Kendra's place to do this. I'm not saying that by any means. But I'm just saying, like, the way that I was thinking about it, and again, accompanied with my bias, is like, dang, this is Willie. Man. This is Willie. This ain't just some random Ray Ray. this Willie. And I just feel like every woman that he's dealt with, including women who did not have kids with him, they misunderstood him. No, I don't think he's right. No, I don't think he's okay for what he did. But I can see his perspective. I can understand his point of view. Um, I also wanted to. It's two more points I want to speak on. This thing when men be like, "Oh, she could have gotten an abortion," that drives me up a wall. And I'm going to lean on race with this too. In the Black community, I heard a statistic that um, more Black children in the state of New York were aborted than born. That is so devastating. You know what I mean? The fact that we're so casual about using abortion as a contraceptive is very sad, and it really speaks to the state of where we are as a people. Um, Deciding to, I'm just saying, to unalive your child because it's inconvenient to you, that is not a normal thing. It's not as casual as I'm gonna use birth control. I'm gonna use a condom. It's not that casual. I think a lot of times people don't think about the physical consequences of it. We talk a lot about how Black women are out of shape and all this other stuff. But when you talk about a woman having, unaliving a child, you know, it comes with a lot of physical and mental consequences. And in his mind, I don't think he's saying she should have gotten an abortion the way that he's saying it. I think what he's saying is trying to have an argument to be like, if I was such a bad guy, why did she want the baby? And she had to have wanted the baby because she kept it. And it's a bad argument, it's a bad argument, but I do understand what he's saying. I think the benefit of knowing the background of this guy, the benefit of being from Charlotte, the benefit from being from the South, you know, he Kendra is slapboxing with a midget here. And I'm not trying to talk down about Willie's intelligence. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to say from a man who's dealing with all these issues talking to a woman who's not. It's very hard to try to get a woman to understand why he made the decisions that he made. And I truly believe that he thought he could really be with this girl. He could make something happen with this girl that he was with, that he could have a family with her. And a lot of times I feel like men have this misconception that just because they had a baby, that makes them a family with this woman. No, it's just a baby. And if anything, most women are quick to tell you that that baby is theirs. Here's my final point. And I'm not trying to, throw no shade on Kendra G. I have a hard time hearing people who don't have children, especially people who are single, especially people who are not legally married. But let's just say the don't have kids part. Let me lean on that point. Someone who does not have kids jumping down somebody's throat who does. Like, there was a time when I was, I come from a big family, so I babysat a lot. I looked after people's kids a lot. I'm so blessed that I never felt like, you know, their parents should have done this and their parents. Yeah, there'll be obvious times where they didn't pack enough diapers or whatever, they struggling. And, sometimes I get agitated because I'll be like, you're having a hard time making ends meet with this kid. Why are you pregnant with another one? You know what I mean? But I'm able to see from the point of view of a parent where Willie is coming from. I cannot imagine having two baby daddies. Being with my husband and having children with just him, that's such a blessing because it's like I only have to talk to one person about the kids. Holidays, doctor's appointments, hair appointments, getting clothes and shoes. I don't have to be like, okay, let me call Josh. Okay, let me turn around. Now I gotta call, Jim over here. Now I gotta call Tony. This dude got 5 women that he gotta talk to. And then here's another kicker too. A lot of times women can get catty and they don't want their child around the other woman's child. Men, they really have to deal with a lot when they have kids, you know. And so Kendra G, she doesn't have any children. And she's not a man, so she doesn't know anything about being a father at all. We'll never know. But at the same time, it's like understand, like, and I get where she's coming from because it's just facts. She's stating logical, provable facts, undisputable facts. But there's that humanistic side of it that I don't think that she's giving credence to, because this man, I'm still in shock at the fact that he got all these baby mamas. Let me just say this: knowing this man personally, knowing how cool he is, you know, I haven't really spoken to anybody from middle and high school in a very long time. Um, as I got older and as my life started taking turns that it was taking, I started realizing I need to, you know, separate the wheat from the chaff, that type of thing. And I've just decided that I can't keep dealing with people that still think like we're in high school, right? So a lot of my high school relationships dissolved, like most people's do. But it's so wild that, you know, I flip on the internet and this is what it is. Um, so I'm still digesting that. But here's my main thing: is like, I feel like when people have kids with the wrong person, then they get with somebody else, they try to make it right with that person, and then it doesn't work out, and then they get with somebody else. Charlotte is notorious for a bunch of women having babies, and I'm sure there are other places, having babies with the same guy. Like, that is, it's something in the water there. You know, everybody got the same baby daddy. I don't know why that's such a big thing with the culture down there. But yeah, man, him having all these baby mamas and stuff, like, I'm married and I got my kids with my husband, and it's like, it's hard just coordinating with just one person who's committed to me, and we're with each other, we're together 24/7. Like, me and my husband, it's not an on and off, on again, off again relationship. It's none of that, nothing crazy like that. I cannot imagine dealing with somebody, my ex, and I gotta go talk to my ex, and then I gotta talk to my other ex, and then my other ex. Like, it is so hard, and women are so combative. I don't think that Kendra G understands that women are so difficult, especially the baby mama types. They are so difficult. These are not ex-wives here. These are confrontational, loud mouth, ghetto, mean broads here. They are not just women. Like, they are off the chain. So for Kendra to be like, you're never with your kids and blah 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 blah. Do you know how hard it is for the average baby daddy to be able to have a relationship with their kids? Nah, I'm gonna do you one better. Do you know how hard it is for a man to have a relationship with his kids with a woman, whether he's married to her, whether he's in an exclusive monogamous relationship with her? When a woman has a problem with a man, she is mean, man. She is so mean. So I don't think Kendra G fully understands that it's not easy. Like, so for women, if we got like more than one baby daddy number one, baby daddy number two, we can call them, you know what I mean? I've even seen baby daddies dap up when they come to pick up their kids, they separate kids. You know what I mean? Like, men they cooler. They're thinking, this is my kid, that's your kid, it is what it is. Women are not like that. Women are not like that at all. Like, women be on some other stuff, and especially when you deal with the kind of women that he's dealing with. So this idea that, oh, you need to step up, you need to be a father figure, you need to be a part of, your kids' lives. And when I think of all the different baby mamas this guy have, all I think about is the fact that he has always tried to start over.
6-year-old from the information that you just said. If you an active dad on a regular basis, then your 6-year-old don't need to know all those words yet. Hey, right? Somebody want to take responsibility for anything in life these days?
Well, you just got off Facebook with her mama, so
what?
I ain't taught her none of that.
Well, the 6-year-old should have access to the Facebook. Y'all do know y'all can control kids from being on social media. It's not impossible.
because
definitely ain't. She pick up my phone. She know my code. She get right on it.
shut up, bro. I'm talking.
She got her own
Okay,
phone.
well, Willie, what did you want to call to tell me? You want to? I didn't know. She didn't say your name, so
She
no
said
one knew
my
who you were.
name. She called my Facebook name out, my whole name, and everything.
I don't remember.
My baby mama. She said a lot about me.
She said a lot about her baby
I ain't
daddy. Now,
mad, but I just want to.
She said your name?
Yes, she said my name. Everybody on here tell you she said my name. It's just the false stuff she's saying about me. That's nowhere near true.
So what do you want to clear up?
Everything she said is like,
okay, I'm giving
crazy.
you the
like,
moment. What do you want to clear up?
I'm clearing my name.
So what
did
she say that you want to clear up? You're just saying clearing my name. So, that's your active father?
I ain't the best father. I'm working right now. I'm here. So I don't know what she's talking about. That's the thing. That's it. That's all I had to say.
And
I don't
they
said she said his name. They said she did not say your name. I don't recall her saying your name, but I don't know.
My name is Willie. My real name is Willie.
Right.
So
did
when
she
you
say
say
that
Willie
in the
work,
live,
everybody knows that. Everybody knows my name.
But hold on. Everybody doesn't know your name because I didn't
Charlotte
know your name.
do. North Carolina do.
Okay, that could be fine, but we didn't know. I didn't know you. I didn't know neither one of y'all.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, like in the South, reputation is everything. I don't know how it is everywhere else, but I think I'm one of those few people that I don't look at him. I don't look at him any differently. I don't look at him any differently. Cause I remember him, you know what I mean? But this is going to be a hair in my brain. This is always gonna be a hair in my brain. Like I'm gonna always think about, dang man, how you end up with her? You know what I mean? Like and her and her and her and her. Like, it's just terrible. Even like you get to see a part of him when he's like, listen, I'm not the best dad, but I'm here. That is, in my opinion, that's a snapshot of the Willie I know. You know what I mean? That is a snapshot of the Willie that I know. And when he say he ain't the best dad, it's like he doesn't have the means to do for his kids what he would like to do. It's always funny. Women are always talking about how they did the best they can, how they trying to take care of their kids. One thing that really kills me is women who get on the system and then talk about how much they do for their kids. Oh my God. Nothing kills me faster than a woman who don't pay for food, she got food stamps. A woman who don't pay for medical, she got Medicaid. A woman who don't pay for housing, she got Section 8. And she talk about, I'm doing it all out here on myself, by myself, on my own. No, you're not. You and taxpayers, and these same women love to talk down about taxpayers, love to talk down about America, and especially the Black women, love to talk down about white people. They the ones paying for your daycare. They the one paying for your housing. The majority of the country is white. They're taxpayers. They're paying for your lifestyle. And I'm not leaning on Black women on welfare because, the majority of people on government assistance are Caucasian, right? But I'm just speaking to this point of just women. Women, we just need to get it together because this whole thing of always glorifying ourselves, pedestaling ourselves, and then downing the man. It's like men don't have a safety net like we do. Men don't get to, cry about, their situation and expect for people to come to the rescue like we do. We have the means to be able to fill out paperwork, and bam, we got benefits. So, I just had to bring that out here too, man. I mean, I know he's like, man, I'm here. Like, I may not be able to afford to care for my kids, but I'm here. The relationships didn't work, but I'm here. And it's not to say that's a lot more than what the average man does. This man is purely talking about himself.
Until an hour ago. So everybody didn't know. Let's not use words that are not true. Everybody didn't know. Now we know your name. Now we know your face because you called in to put a face and a name behind it. But is there anything else you want to clear up, honey?
Nope.
No.
I just cleared it. Now what?
I need to say something. So sometimes that my mom comes get me because I don't really have clothes. So if if I come back with my dad, she gives me my bag with my clothes because I don't really have clothes to go with my dad. So when I bring the clothes with my dad, he goes wash cars because that's what he do. He work. Don't you do that, Dad?
What else? Hurry up, cause she got stuff to do. We gotta get off here.
Okay. Well,
So
listen. I'm praying for everybody involved because we got babies to think about, right? So when the unfortunate part is this.
Let me say this though. Let me just say this before you get off here. This goes for all women. Whether you get with a man who got kids, like I don't care what the man say. Like for real, it's gonna come out. You gonna get pregnant, stuff like that. If you gonna have the baby ball, like don't mess with no man for one if he ain't doing for his other five, and don't get on here and say that I'm not when you know I am. I'm probably the best thing ever happened to you. I done helped you everything you ever tried to do. Like what you arguing with, what she was mad about earlier with her grandmama, everything trying to find her parents. Like, why would I be a bad dad? I'm sitting here wasting money, traveling the country trying to help you find your daddy. Like,
True, these are facts. This is the type of stuff Will does. Like, he'll look out. He will look out. Like when he say, "Oh, I was trying to help you find your dad." Oh, I've been, he. I'm probably the best thing ever happened to you. This is true. This is true, and I'm not trying to cape for Will and stuff. I'm just saying, like, most people when they hear a baby daddy, 5 kids, 6 kids, 5 different baby mamas, they, oh my God, he's a dirtbag. It's easy to think, but what I'm trying to do is humanize this guy because I know him as a person. You know what I mean? When I tell you this dude go all out for people and specifically for women, particularly for women that he's in a relationship with. Like here's what I get on him for. Why you spending money traveling the country trying to, pour into this woman? You got 5 other kids. You got, you know, 4 other women that are raising your children without you. You know, for me, I would say the best thing to do when you have kids is to focus on raising your kids as properly as you can, right? Now, if I'm the type of person that likes to prioritize things. So I like to do things in order. Like, y'all forbid, let's say if my husband and I split up, right? I would not want to try to get out here and try to find somebody so I can have a warm body at night, right? My thing would be I want to make sure that our children are growing up in an environment to where they know as much as they need to know about myself and they know as much as they need to know about their father. If their father finds somebody new or whatever, hopefully they get married, you know, because I want them to know, hey, yo, this is your stepmother. You know what I mean? My whole position is I want my children to grow up in a functional family environment, right? Now, on the flip side of that, I can't see myself being with anybody else, if me and my husband were to split because, my husband is the best. Like, that's the best man for me. He's the only man for me. Um, I think my focus would mainly be to ensure that his children have a very good relationship with him. And if he finds somebody new, that they have a very good relationship with hopefully his new wife, you know. Um, Now, just putting that up, how does this relate to Will? Okay, you got your first baby mama, it didn't work out. You get your second baby mama, it didn't work out. You get your third baby mama, it didn't work out. You get your fourth baby mama. What are we doing, Will? You know what I mean? Like, Willie, what are we doing? Like, and the sad part is we live in this social media age where these women are loudmouths. They all over the internet. They're looking for opportunities to slander you, which is so sad because that shows how much they truly care about their kids. They're not thinking about the fact that, hey, I'm talking down about my child's father. I, my kids are gonna go to school, and people are going to know that I disrespect her dad outright. My kids most likely are going to get picked on because I'm on here, I'm a baby mama, I'm a loudmouth. And then forever, the internet is forever. Your children will forever see how you've been bad mouthing their dad. And again, shout out to Willie for getting on this right away. That's the type of guy he is. Say what you want about your other baby daddies, your other boyfriends, or whatnot. But when it comes to me, I'm gonna get on here. I'm gonna say my piece. I don't care how I look. I don't care how I come across. I don't care how I sound. You're not gonna sit here and dog me out. I'm gonna say something. I got a phone just like you. So when he says, I was there for her and all this other stuff, yeah, he's that kind of guy. He should have been more selective. That's number one. And he need to take care of himself. But I'll let him say it.
It's a lot that she ain't telling people. Like, she always come on me. I'm probably the best thing you ever had. I probably made you. So don't do that. Like, that's the only thing that made me mad. Like, yeah, I still love the girl. I still will do anything for her, but I can't be with her because the way she act and the way she try to be and the way she portray me. Like, I'm a father first. So, yeah, I might cuss around them and all that, but I got to do everything else around them. I got to feed them, clothe them, find them somewhere to sleep, everything. So I'm me regardless. So she got to stop that. I run 3 businesses, and I'm still broke, and I ain't out here trying to get no fame. I ain't got it because I'm giving it all to them. So other than that, don't get on no platform and slander my name. People know me around here. I good reputation. I'm everybody's chef. I'm everybody's detailer. I'm everybody's every carpenter. I fix houses, home improvement, everything. Everybody know me for being a father and a good man, and that's all you associate my name with. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
One thing though, because you said I want to say this to the ladies. What advice would you give to men in ways that they could become better?
I mean, if you already got kids like me, I ain't work with all of my other baby mamas, and you get a woman without kids who don't really know how it is with kids, it's gonna be hard to make that work for her. I'm telling you, like, I done tried that. But advice I got for men: man up before you look for a woman, for real. Because get everything you got for yourself first, house and everything. Because I had money when I met her, moved in her house, took care of her, let her quit her job, pay her bills, and I end up being the one shitted in the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I should have been working on me first, and my other 5 I had, then thought about a woman. Because that ain't work again. Now I got 6 with no baby mama, no wife. So that's how they go.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the lesson learned, and listen, we are trying to do the best that we can in life. I don't know what's happening with my show this week, but it really
I don't want to be on the show. I don't need no bag. I don't need no love, none of that. I'm on with these.
Okay. Well, I wish everybody blessed in the situation. And okay, so this is Shadora's child's father, who she was referring to.
Yeah. So just shout out to Willie, man. And shout out to Kendra G, man. I love the work that she does over there. Give her flowers on that. She's doing her thing. But I have to say, man, this ain't Shadora's child's father. This is Willie. Willie good people. Just like his daughter came on and was like, let me just say this about my daddy. My mom give me my clothes and stuff. Pack me an overnight bag or many nights bag, and I go with my daddy. And first thing my daddy does is go wash cars. Like even if it's washing cars, like he just said, he does carpentry, he does handyman work, he does this and he does that. Hey, it's something. It's not enough, but it's something. It's certainly better than what the mom painted him as. And I just felt the need to come on here and say that because I hate how it turned out for him, man. I really do. It's so sad. It saddens me. And I mean, I did a short about it last night because it popped up and I was like, oh no, I was putting the kids to sleep. And I was like, oh man, not Willie. Not anybody but Willie. But I do appreciate the fact that he said, yo, man, y'all got to make sure y'all have y'all stuff together before y'all get with anybody. That's fact. That's true. Because no matter how good of this just goes to show, no matter how good of a person a guy is, if he doesn't have his own, People are always going to target his manhood. See, a woman can be failing as a woman all day long. She could be out here messing with everybody. She could be she could have different baby daddies. She can, not have completed school. She can fail in any way possible and always possible. And society will always find a way to excuse her behavior and her shortcomings. Men, on the other hand, something as simple as, you know, trying to get a decent job or whatever. Oh, look at you. You can't even get a job. You can't even pay for this. You can't. I mean, the world is always on a man's back. Always. And I think that, I was blessed enough to grow up having, strong male figures in my life so that I get to see firsthand how much men go through to take care of the people that they love. Most women don't understand that. Most women don't know anything about that. But I do appreciate Willie taking the time to say, hey, make sure you get yourself in order before you even try to think about a woman. Get yourself in order because they will never give you your credit. They will never, and it's not that you should get yourself in order because you want credit and validation from her, just so you can have you. Because one thing he did say is he poured everything into that woman. Now he ain't got nothing. So I just wanted to kind of share that with y'all. Because I will say on the flip side, if a woman really pours into a man who cares about her, who loves her, she'll be all right. That man is going to look out for her. You see what I'm saying? But it's not the same the other way around. But anyway, y'all, I just dropped in to do this live. I wanted to kind of share this because I had some kind of personal connection to it. And shout out to Willie, man. He's still good people, in my opinion, even with all these baby mamas and even with that loud, crazy, wild last one. He's still a good man in my book. Like I've always known, you know, uh Lil Quarter Trucker say respect the man speaking up. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like, yeah, man, I really appreciate the fact that he was willing to share that advice. That's such real advice. But I'm gonna come off this live here in a second. I got some errands I need to run and everything. I appreciate everybody who dropped in. I appreciate everybody who will see this later on in the day. I know this is super early and I know this is something spicy early in the morning, but as always, you guys know I got my two babies. And so, I gotta get them ready. 4th of July coming up, gotta get the house in order. Josh is probably going to be in town sometime this week. So y'all know how I do. I got to cook a whole spread, roll out the red carpet for the king of my house. But like, yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys and I'll catch you on the next live.